isn't so much a social media site as a honey trap operated by global intelligence agencies, including our own. One of the very first things Elon Musk did was fire all the spies who worked at Twitter.
Are you serious?
Who the fuck boosted you to fucking GM?
Then he fired a lot of other people too, including the entire PR department, the HR department, and a lot of other useless baggage who weren't helping the company do anything worth doing. And what happened next? We asked him.
Meant a shrinking pie, obviously, for most of the traditional media companies, and made them more desperate to get clicks, to get attention, and
yeah, but he's not. Elon Musk is not a right winger. He's just appearing on Tucker Carlson tonight because he wants to explain his side of the story.
He just made them when
Not to say he owns like one of the biggest social media platforms and can literally boost his tweets to the top of everyone's like list. No, this was the right move to make.
When they're in sort of a desperate state, they will then tend to really push headlines that get the most clicks, whether those headlines are accurate or not.
Come on, man.
So it's resulted, in my view, I think most people would agree, a less truthful, less accurate news.
In other words,
They have your IP address, they have your zip code, they're fucking coming for you. They're coming for you. I have zero evidence to support anything that I just said, but I know it's true.
Because they just got to get a rise out of people. And I think it's also increased the negativity of the news because I think we humans instinctually respond more to I think we have an instinctual negative bias.
This is not true. This is a result of America's founding. This is the result of everybody having a clear target and goal, setting up a society, and then trying to open that society. I promise you, in 0 time flat, you will hear a Republican say out of their mouths, which they already have, why did we get rid of slavery?
Which kind of makes sense in that, like, if like, let's say,
that link should be in this video here.
Remember where was the lion, or where was the tribe that wants to kill my tribe? Then where is the bush with berries?
Yes.
Like, one's like a permanent negative outcome, and the other is like, well, I might go hungry. So, I mean,
that's the man with the money. The man with the money just said that. Let's run that back. Let's do a Dave Chappelle run back. Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch.
Tribe. Then where is the bush with berries?
Yes.
Like, one's like a permanent negative outcome, and the other is like, well, I might go hungry. So, meaning like there's an asymmetry in, sort of involved asymmetry in negative versus positive stuff.
You know, sometimes I really do want to do the whole, let's argue it and let's spread it out and let's see if he's really saying anything. But I have to remind y'all that this was the most popular show at one point. This was the most popular show at one point during the pandemic. And what is that? And what is that? What was that? What was that? First of all, you stole some more news, which we'll never let you go for. But remember when this blew up, some good news, where we could all, you know, brighten up each other's day? That's almost like saying, like, the headlines for Daily Dose of Internet are not real.
And also historically, the negative stuff would have been quite proximate. Like, it would have been near, represented a real danger to you as a person if you heard negative news. Because historically, you know, like a few hundred years ago, we're not hearing about what negative things are happening on the other side of the world or on the other side of the country. We're hearing about negative things in our village.
Yo, we're only hearing about negative shit in our village. Okay, Elon, real quick, just try this with me. I know you got all the money in the world, but just try this with me, bro. Do you think that people who only had to care about what happened in their village might have extrapolated some of the things that were happening in that village to other places, then took that behavior to those other places? Because what you're describing is the beginnings of imperialism.
Things that could actually have a bad effect on you. Whereas now we're hearing about, I mean, the news very often seems to attempt to answer the question, what is the worst thing that happened on Earth today?
That's peace. That's thank you for being here. That's the point.
And you wonder why you're sad after reading that, you know?
Do you read any legacy media outlets?
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I mean, I really get most of my news from Twitter at this point.
Bro can buy a small town in the US and he just said, I get all my news from Twitter. I it's like when you try to explain the failures of Elon Musk, and this happens with a lot of things that not only we're going to talk about today, but like in general, I can just hear like this big swath of weirdos coming at me saying, you don't understand it. You're not explaining it this way. You're saying this, you're saying that. And it's like, here's the problem. And here's my biggest problem with social media. Here's my biggest problem with these egomaniacs that fucking run everything. You're not saying anything. As the beautiful Fresh Prince once said, what's your point?
Yeah, so what's your point?
What's your point?
Legacy media outlets?
I mean, I really get most of my news from Twitter at this point.
I get all my news from Cat Third. What was that? Oh, Yarn is still going.
It is the #1 news source, I think, in the world at this point.
What percentage of your staff did you fire at Twitter? One of the great business stories of the year.
So this leads me into another point, and this is what I think most people miss about the entire Elon Musk story. And to be honest with you, there's a lot in this story, so I wouldn't expect everybody to talk about every aspect of it in every single angle and direction. Some of us come from different backgrounds. Some of us need visual learning. Some of us are hearers. Some of us are kinetic. Like, I understand how learning is different. I want to posit a query to you on what you just heard. Like, one of the greatest business stories is that you fired a bunch of people. Like, I hate to bring this up as a gotcha to the richest man or one of the richest men in the world. But, and because I feel like I'm dumb for having to say this, but if everybody got fired, everyone couldn't get a job again. Like, we keep doing these mass swaths of firings, left, right, up, and down. Every company is letting go of 10,000 people. And this man just said that that was a success. Those people have to go other places to get jobs, which takes away from other people who get jobs. This is why we have the cascade. This is quite literally why the bottom 99% of America right at this moment own less than 2% of the wealth in this country. Like, we're hitting a point where fascism is riding our tails while everybody's trying to make ends meet. And it's gonna collapse. We already, like, in my personal life, I've already seen suicide over this. Like, I can't stress that we are not in a great place as a nation. Like, we are not in a good place at all.
We're about 20% of the original size.
So 80% left.
Yes.
So
I mean, a lot of people voluntarily.
sure, but it's 80% are gone from the day you took
That's
over.
correct. Yes.
So how do you run the company with only 20% of the staff?
I gotta hear this. I gotta know what this reply is.
Turns out you don't need that many people to run Twitter.
He's fucking lying. That's it. He's fucking lying. He's full of shit. He's fucking lying. At this point, bro, no way. No way. No way. Turns out you don't need that many people to run Twitter. My G, you are the one who made that decision. You are the one. You know what? See, this is where I didn't want to go for the dunk. I really didn't. I really don't want to go for these dunks. But this is the same guy that said, I was getting 90% cheers and 10% boos, and it seemed like it was coming from the poor, unhinged leftists of San Francisco.
But 80%? That's a lot.
Yes. I mean, if you're not trying to run some sort of glorified activist organization and you're not care that much about censorship, then you can really let go of a lot of people, turns out. Sort of glorified activist organization and you're not care that much about censorship, then you can really let go of a lot of people, turns out.
Welcome to the stage of history.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little... What a fucking liar,
across
dude.
the line. Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
Bitch! How many others, without naming names, but how many... I had dinner with somebody who runs a big company recently who said, I'm really inspired by Elon. And I said, the free speech stuff? He goes, no, the firing the staff stuff. Yeah. How many other CEOs have come to you to talk about this?
I spend a lot of time at work, so it's not like I'm meeting with lots of people. They see what actions I've taken, but I think we just had a situation at Twitter where it was absurdly overstaffed. So it wasn't like you look at, say, like, what does it really take to operate Twitter? Most of what we're talking about here is a group text service at scale.
That is not what Twitter is. He is, as of a few hours ago, telling you he does not understand Twitter's purpose. And then everybody keeps saying that he bought Twitter. He was forced to buy it.
How many people are really needed for that? And if you look at what has been the product development over time with Twitter, and you're years versus product improvements, and it's like a pretty flat line. So what are they doing? It's okay.
Chat, what are they doing? It's a word. I'm going to tell you the word right now. Don't be astonished. Don't be scared. The word is maintaining. That's today's word. Maintaining.
A year to add an edit button that doesn't work most of the time.
Add an edit button that doesn't work most of the time. It doesn't work now.
I mean, I feel like there's a comedy situation here. You're not making cars, it's very difficult to make cars or get rockets to orbit. So, the real question is, like, how did it get so absurdly overstaffed? This is insane. Anyway, and it's clearly working. In fact, I think it's working better than ever. We've increased the responsiveness of the system by, in some cases, over 80%. We're trying to make Twitter the most trusted place on the internet, the least untrustworthy place on the internet. I don't think anyone should trust the internet, but maybe we can make Twitter the least untrustworthy.
I live in a timeline where everybody is gaslighting. And then he made, the CBC. He made the CBC's percentage 69. Oh, man.
Like I said, try to get...
And then you'll get this argument that the old generation does it better, blah, blah, blah. Like, look at the debt clock. Google the debt clock for 5 seconds. There's literally nothing on this earth anymore for any of us. Like, we have the possibility of Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis being elected president, and that's a very high choice. And Lord, will that pull everyone right back to where we started. And it's like, to explain this to people, let me just show y'all. Currently, right now, the cheapest living apartment in the greater New York area, the only listings you have are 16, and the lowest for it is $1,000. There are only 16 apartments in the greater New York City right now that are being rented out that you can find a listing for. All the others, you have to buy the building, know the people who run the building, or have other real estate stock that opens up more listings for you. 16 apartments. There are over 9 million people in this city. 16 new individuals who move here will be able to move into a brand new apartment.
Globus_the_elder gifted a tier 1 sub to Bink Princess.
Gang, 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 gang.
54 gift subs in the channel.
54 subs, Jesus. Really funding my bad attitude now, aren't you? Like, I can't stress that, like, a lot of this is just information that nobody want to look up. It takes me 20 minutes to learn this. And then I have to pretend with an entire generation that that's not the existence that they set up for us. Like, directly your laws, directly your people. I haven't even gotten into legacy tenant. I haven't even gotten into legacy tenant ownership yet. Like, some of the old people that live around in my neighborhood, they may pass away. It immediately gets passed down to their children. Their children will then take the buyout from, and this just happened. This just happened. Oh my God. Because I was just talking to, hey, another one. Making sure everybody remains subbed.
Elder gifted a tier 1 sub to Monarch_Azado63. They've
gifted 55 gift subs in the channel. Thank you so much, Globus. Helps keeps the lights on, as you know. And it's like, this isn't research to make it a losing fight. This is research where it's like, when I wake up in the morning, I am aware that, like, we are on the brink of a big crack. Taking my top spot back from Even. I said Even, not Evan. I'm sorry. It's the word. It looks like Eden. I keep thinking about it like Eden.
The truth to the people as best we can.
When Elon Musk took over Twitter, the company had something called a human rights team. There was no measurable increase in human rights around the world. In fact, Twitter was doing its best to crush human rights.
I can't begin to... There's no way. There's no
Starting
way.
with the most basic, which is the right to say what you really think.
That's a dog whistle. That's a dog whistle. Here's the end of this segment. We're headed towards fascism. Arm yourself. I don't want to tell you to do things, but I want you to look around right now. Are any of the points that he made actually valid? Are any of the points that he brought up remotely worth discussing? Really think about it. Really ponder that for a second. And if you're still I love Elon Musk, he's so great, he's so beautiful. If you're one of those people, I will leave you with this last thought. If he is so great, why does he technically have less money than me right now? I don't know, man. Make better people famous. You know, do the thing. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified on Paradigm Shift, and I'm out of here.